Let us start with one of the most frequently used operator, that is retry. When we are dealing with asynchronous programming and especially with observables, as the name suggests, it will keep on retrying the same operation on and on till the number of times you have trying to subscribe. So this will take an number of argument, that is the kind of number, and it will keep on retry the same operation. In the simple term, it will keep on subscribing the same subscriber if any kind of error occurred. Suppose that you are calling an API and you are facing some issues, then this operator will be very much helpful. Maybe there are some issues that are going on in your API, and that API will return you a kind of flaky error. So if we are dealing with this particular operator, then we will give the retry option. Like if any error occurred, then we will retry the same operation. Maybe in the next time we will get the value. So in the defined diagram, you can see the observable values are coming from the source, and if any error occurred, then it will keep on retry two times. If again further two times that particular observable is not able to give the record or data, then we will suppose that that particular functionality have an issue. That particular API, that particular set of code is not returning you the defined value. So for creating this particular example, we have already created an API project that is returning you the student details record like this. So we have our API ready and that is on running mode. So once we are doing any kind of page operation, then it will go and hit this particular API and fetch the records. So now let me add the sample example for this particular retry operation. That will do nothing but keep on calling this particular API until it is getting the set of record by giving n number of tries. We have an Angular project where we have added our example component, that is RxJS operator. There we will demonstrate the use of retry. So this particular URL will be our API URL that will be hit to fetch all the records. Let me simply call this particular HTTP API. So we have to take care of the return type that we are giving in our API. It is having the kind of a student that is or that having the data of following type. So we have to add the same particular data in our example. So we should have the student details that we are trying to fetch. I have added the class student for this particular return type. So it will try to get the array of a student. From URL that we have defined. So this is the same URL that we will try to fetch all students details. There we will pass number of retry that we want. Let us give it 2 for now. So if our API will return you some error, then it will keep on trying 2 more times to get the defined data. Now let me subscribe to the data. So if we are able to fetch all the records from API and our API is successful to return you the record, then we will simply do the logging of the data that we are getting from API. And if any case it is throwing some error, then we will log error occurred while retrieving the records. Okay, now let me run the application. So at this particular time we are getting all the records on the single go. Now let me do something that our API will start to throw some error, so that we will quickly identify that if any error occurred, how many times it is going to retry. So I have done nothing but added some sort of temporary flow that will throw the HTTP response exception with message a bad request. Let me build and run the application. So let us put a breakpoint here and refresh the page. And suppose that if I am trying to manually throw the error, then it is coming again. So if we have thrown one time error, then it has printed first time on the URL like this particular error occurred, but when it retried, it was able to success to retrieve the records. Now if we are doing the same thing and returning error one time, now it is started again and retried for one more time, and then again it retried one more time. So this particular line has been executed. Error occurred while retrieving the record, and first time it goes and try to fetch the record, it didn't get the bad request. It retried 2 more times that we have defined, and every time it has got some error. So finally, after retrying that number of time, it printed like error occurred while retrieving the records that we have mentioned. Thank you so much.